I absolutely hate drip irrigation. Yes, I said it. I hate it. I don't hate it because it doesn't work. I just hate it because it is more economical and expensive. When I talk about economical, I will explain to you why. If you are new to my channel, my name is Veggie Father, and you know I'm already into topics relating to agric, subject matters relating to agric, and welcome to one of my farms. This is a 5-acre project. We are doing split into two. 2.5 acres is going for cowpea, and then 2.5 acres is going for the local pakoshito Scotch bonnet, actually West African Scotch bonnet. That's where I am right now. And back to irrigation. Today I'm talking about irrigation. There are different types of irrigation, and if you would want to farm throughout the season, you would need to consider irrigation. First off, we have two forms of irrigation. We have the mechanical or artificial irrigation system, and then we have the seasonal or the rains, which is also an irrigation, if you don't know, by the way, or if you don't mind. Usually when subjects like this come up, we want to talk about the artificial irrigation or the irrigation system that we control, not the rains that we don't. And I'll begin by explaining to you some actually, because I don't know all, to be honest, some common irrigation systems that we have in Ghana. And I'll begin by mentioning the almighty drip system, which has been very well marketed in Africa, or should I say in Ghana. That's where I am. That's what I'll talk about. With a drip irrigation system, there are some companies that have actually ventured into it, and so the marketing is very, very high on that. Let me explain to you how it is. Drip irrigation system is basically a form of irrigation system that mostly you don't need a water pump. It uses gravity. You buy a water pump, you buy a water tank, which could be poly tank or whatever it is, whatever brand it is. You calculate the number of plants you are planting on the land. Usually you use 10,000 plants per acre, which means that if you are calculating a liter or a gallon of water for each plant, which is 1 liter of gallon water per plant, then you are looking at 10,000 liters of water tank. If you are doing more, you go for a bigger one. So the standard I would talk about will be the 10,000 liters. When you get your water tank, there are hoses or strips that you use to elevate or you to deliver the irrigation or the water to the plants. There's a water tank. There is main lines or lay flats or connectors from the water tank to the sub lines, which is usually the drip hose, very tiny hose that delivers the water systematically to the plants in little bits. What is the advantages of those two? This particular tube. The first is it's more economical on the water. So you are releasing water in a very economic way to the plants, and it has been designed in such a way that it is just releasing droplets. So no splashes. You don't overwater. If you are in an area where you have problem accessing water, you don't overwater. And secondly, you don't have a problem with fungi since it does not splash. So that's about it for drip. It's more economical in terms of delivering the water, and it saves you a lot of stress. Secondly, which is on the negative side, it's quite expensive to be able to lay a drip relatively, because I would be mentioning cheaper ones too. So relatively, drip is very expensive. It's also because of the value you are getting. But then again, as I mentioned earlier, I hate it. I hate it because where we come from, we enjoy flooding the land. When you come and see us farming yams, we want the land to be soaked. So if we are not getting water source, it means we use the rain. If I am not getting rain and I'm irrigating my land for planting, I want to get the equation of rain, thereby me enjoying the rain hose. Let me give you reasons why I would choose rain hose irrigation over drip. Number one, rain hose would flood my land easily. No matter which land it is, it would flood it easily. As compared to drip, drip would take hours to flood the land. Rain hose would never take that much time. Merely you have your pump on, just like that. It acts as rain for you. So your land gets irrigated faster. All the part of the land is soaked well. And if funny enough you are able to mulch your land very well, it means you're going to have a load of the droplets or the water beneath the mulch if you flood it. Usually I like the rain. Secondly, I live by a dam. Let me show you something. This is basically the overflow from a dam. You can see this overflow, but this is not actually the dam. Let me show you where the dam is. The dam is a huge project. From where I am standing, I'll be turning the camera for you. You see, I have water in abundance. Why would I have time to actually save water? Let's use the water. The plants need them. So I like rain hose. Secondly, it's cheaper. The rain hose would need probably 10 pieces per acre. Just 10 lines per acre. If you have a good water pump, you can use 100 meters to be able to irrigate an acre. And whereas equal to the drip, you would use probably maybe 30 or 40 of the drip if your plant spacing is huge. If you are compacting, you need more. The cost is relatively the same. The cost for rain irrigation tubes and then drip tubes are almost the same, around 250 cedis, 300 cedis usually. Now if I'm getting 10 of those and you are getting 50, you can do the mathematics. I usually like rain hose. I usually recommend rain hose, especially if you're a starting up farmer. All you need to be ready for is battling periodic spraying to take care of fungi, which you would also do when you're using drip. It's not so different. That's why I love the rain hose. Cheap, the water is more readily available. You can have enough water in the shortest time. You can soak the land as you want. At the end of the day, the cost involved is also relatively cheap. For me, I choose the rain over drip. We also have other ways like the rain gun. The rain gun, I'll be showing you image here. The rain gun is basically you mount it in the field and it spins all the way throughout the farm. Now, I would also recommend the rain gun because it does almost the same job as a rain hose. The difference is that the rain hose releases very tiny droplets, not so heavy droplets, just like the drizzle of rain. But the rain gun usually the end and the beginning has heavy droplets. So if your plants are not so old enough, you usually have stress having the plant to lie on the soil because they'll be receiving heavy blows. The rain gun is most often also like the rain hose. Just a single stand, you give it one main line, which is a little more cost effective as compared to the rain hose, to be added, because the rain hose you need to lay main lines and all those stuff. But with the rain gun, you just need one main line to the rain gun. If you are irrigating a huge area and you are using multiple guns, then you would need a main line that will connect all the rain guns. So it's more economical. And with that, you have the advantages just like the rain hose and disadvantages like the rain hose. We also have which would have been the best if it actually worked. That's the gravity irrigation. The government using One District, One Dam project was actually proposed to use gravity. I don't want to sound political, but I think this project, ours actually began during the 2015-2014 era, which is around the Mahama period. So what they did was they were supposed to excavate the land and put concrete in canals where it descends. The water descends to the edge of the field, and then there are connectors at the end of the field that you actually open, and the water just starts spreading on your land, descending. But it was a flop. It was a flop where the engineers were not able to calculate the gravity of the water coming onto the soil, the overflow, or when the water is too much, where the water is supposed to pass was not designed. Now the water does not flow, and it's floods a specific area, and once it is flooded, there is no way it flows away. It stays there. All the things that you plant over there would be a waste. Over here we have closed all the valves that deliver water to us, and we are using water pump and different types of irrigation. That's another irrigation system you might look for. Just try to plow your land a little bit in a slope, and then release connectors above it. So when you open the tap, it flows downstream systematically and wets the soil. Now all these I'm talking about, a exception of drip, you would have a problem of weed control. If you don't have weed barriers or mulch, then you look at whether you are doing organic or inorganic. If you are doing organic, then you need to consider hoeing most of the time, clearing most of the time. If you are doing inorganic, you have spray weedicides that you have to be spraying periodically to take care of the weeds, and that is because you have nutrients in the soil, you have a lot of water in the soil, so the soil is actually good and enjoyable. To me, those are the type of irrigation systems that I feel are common to us, and it actually works. It actually works. Now, if you know different types of irrigation systems, you can let me know. And I'll talk about them. But let me give you a typical setup if you are starting a farm. If you are looking at using the rain hose, the rain gun, whichever it is, first, unlike the drip where you need a poly tank, rain hose, you don't need a poly tank. You don't need you just need a water source. So a flowing stream, a flowing river, a dam. If you don't have any of these, you should have a built tank, an open tank, not a poly tank, an open tank, a built tank, usually concrete. It would cost you less to construct a concrete tank on the ground to fill water than to buy a poly tank, which would not do you so well. For those, you would need a water pump, a very good water pump, and an average water pump, which would cost you between 3,000 cedis to 15,000 cedis, depending on the capacity you are buying and the land size you are irrigating. You get a water pump, and then you need a lay flat. If you are using a rain gun, you need a lay flat, probably 100 meter or 50 meter, depending on the size of your land. It also costs between 2,500 to probably 10,000 cedis, depending on the quality you are using and where you are getting it from. The size also matters. After you have your lay flats, the lay flats is demarcated throughout the land. The lay flat is the main line from the water pump, where you connect and deliver to the system that you are using to deliver the water, whether it is a rain gun or the rain hose. The main line that will send the water there is what we call the lay flat, usually because it is the type of material that is being used. Or you can use PVCs. PVCs are also a type of the main lines, the lay flats, usually that you can use. Those are the main lines. So you have that, and then you would have your rain hose or your rain gun or your drip. Some people use the water pump for drip, which is not a good idea, because the water pump was not meant to receive so much pressure. It was meant to receive just about enough pressure to deliver the water systematically. You are basically destroying the system that it used to operate when you are using the water pump. With the drip, you don't need a water pump. You just need your poly tank elevated to about 20 feet. Then the main lines would deliver the water to the tubes, the rain tubes, and then the rain tubes then delivers to the plants. This is the irrigation system usually we have in Ghana that we use. And most often, it works accurately, it works well. Whichever you enjoy. I'm not saying any of them is bad. They are all very good. I've used all of them, so I can tell you for a fact that it's all good. It's just that I enjoy some, and some people would also disagree with me, which is equally fine, because we are all farmers and we all enjoy specifics. We don't have to all enjoy everything everybody enjoys. Yes, you can try any of them, whichever works for you. Your budget also will be able to tell you whichever you use. My name is Veggie Father once again. Follow me everywhere. X, YouTube, TikTok, anywhere that you can find me, I'll be there. I'll be able to assist you in terms of any issues that you might want. Please, before you come and ask me questions relating to farming, please watch my videos as such. I have answered a lot of questions in my videos, and it would make a lot of sense if you watch all my videos before you come and ask me certain basic questions. It makes it a little bit difficult because I have a lot of people contacting me, and I try as much as possible the informations are given ahead. So if you come back with me with an information I've already given, it makes it difficult for me to want to reply. Watch my videos from start. I have videos from scratch. If you've never seen anything about farming, my videos talk about how to actually start the farming. So go and start from my first videos, which I've playlisted. I have a playlist on YouTube. You can watch from beginning to end. Then if you don't have your questions answered, contact me for further answers and I'll be able to give them. But don't just skip all my videos and come and ask me questions I've already answered several times. It makes it difficult for me to reply all the people that are coming. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.